This morning, the government shutting down for the first time in nearly 7 years after lawmakers from both parties failed to reach a deal.
Republicans once again rejected Democrats' proposals to avoid a shutdown.
The Democrat caucus here in town, in the Senate, has chosen to shut down the government.
Overnight, senators blocking dueling proposals. Democrats overwhelmingly rejecting a GOP bill to keep the government funded.
The bill upon reconsideration is not passed.
And Republicans blocking a Democratic bill to reverse Medicaid cuts and extend Obamacare subsidies to keep health care costs from rising for millions.
How long would you be willing to let a shutdown go on until your demands are met? As long as it takes?
We need to save health care. It's so basic and existential for a lot of American families.
With lawmakers deadlocked, the president turning to mocking Democratic leaders, posting another AI-generated video on social media, showing Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries wearing a sombrero and a fake mustache.
We need from the President of the United States an individual who actually is focused on doing his job, as opposed to engaging in racist or bigoted stereotypes.
The president trying to ramp up the pressure, threatening mass layoffs and cuts to programs.
We can do things during the shutdown that are irreversible, that are bad for them and irreversible by them, like cutting vast numbers of people out, cutting things that they like, cutting programs that they like.
Even floating the idea of cutting benefits without saying which ones.
We can do things medically and other ways, including benefits.
Already, as many as 4 million federal workers are preparing to go without pay, with furloughs hitting the majority of agencies. The Department of Labor seeing 76% of its workforce temporarily reduced. At Health and Human Services, 41% of employees will be furloughed, including 64% of workers at the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Members of the military also hit hard, many forced to work without a paycheck. Jamie Billard, whose husband is in the Coast Guard, preparing to tell their kids they'll have to scale back on dinners out and picture day at school.
What do we set as a priority? Your dad's not getting paid right now. That's our sole source of income. You know, I said no because there's bigger things happening here.
And in Fort Worth, Johnny Jones, a TSA officer, and an AFGE union official worried about how he'll make ends meet.
Child care does not take IOUs. Gasoline does not take IOUs. Your house payments do not take IOUs. And sometimes it becomes very difficult to maintain focus on the mission whenever you're trying to figure out how you're going to get to and from work.
Democrats say those threats from the president for mass layoffs are an act of intimidation, showing no signs of backing off their demands.
The president is now threatening these irreversible cuts to the workforce, to programs. Is that a risk that Democrats are willing to take?
It will fall on him, as I said. He's the one doing the firings, not Democrats.
So 2 Democratic senators and 1 independent broke ranks to support the GOP proposal to keep the government funded. Senate Republicans say they plan to bring that bill back to the floor today, but Democrats say they are holding firm. So the big question now, how do lawmakers get out of this shutdown? Exactly who caves? And just how long will it last? Robin, the last one was 35 days.
Those are all big questions that you just asked there, Rachel. Thank you so much for your reporting.